Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Danielle and I am from Cageless Readings. So today's pick a card reading, we're going to be looking at a few different things. I'm going to pull cards, just 3 cards from the Golden Future card deck, which is this one here. It's very pretty, very high vibes. And we're just going to be looking at guidance for you, guidance for the planet, and the best way for you to serve the planet. It's kind of a weird topic, but occasionally, and I mean super rarely, I mean it's probably happened 3 times, I'll look at like the recommended way to like pull oracle cards in the guidebook for that specific deck, and I saw that and I was like, oh, I kind of like that. I'm gonna include this in this pick card reading today. So that's really why we have these, is I just like the idea of that. And as we're coming to the end of the year, if you're watching this as it comes out, I just thought that'd be like a nice little way to tie off everything, is looking at what you can do for the world right now and how to make a difference. If you're struggling with some guilt or feeling gross or disempowered around a certain thing that feels out of your control. So that's why we got this deck. And next, we're going to just pull some affirmations from Louise L. Hay's Oracle cards, just around further support on whatever comes through in the other cards that we've pulled. A lot of you probably know who Louise L. Hay is. I'm pretty sure she's passed away now. Yeah, but she was known for learning how to hear what your body was trying to tell you, and how to heal your body, your physical body, basically by learning what emotional tie was in that part of your body. So anyways, I really like her oracle cards, so we're just going to pull some of those. And then the deck that you choose here is going to be guidance around staying balanced in your life right now. Guidance and suggestions as always. Never take anything 100% as you know you, and ultimately you know what's best for yourself. So everything's always a suggestion. So that all being said, the card decks you have to choose from, pile 1 is going to be, I think I would remember the name of it by now, Angel Therapy Oracle cards. Always makes me think of Reiki. I mean, as like the hands look like that, or like chakra balancing. It is an angel deck, so angels do work with chakras and basically Reiki, so they're 2 in the same. So pile 2's option is the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle cards. You've probably seen these a lot on the channel as well. Use them a lot. Little voice crack there. And then pile 3 is Archangel Oracle cards, is what it's called. Yeah, there you go. So if you've never done a pick a card reading before on YouTube, all you do is you just take a few deep breaths, maybe close your eyes, and you're just doing this so that you kind of get focused in on your body, connected to your intuition, connected in with your heart, you know, that like gut knowing, and getting out of the logical mind. There's nothing wrong with the logical mind, but it usually chooses piles based off the ego or like what it's wanting to hear, not always what you're really is in your highest good to hear right now. So that's why you take a few deep breaths and get connected and centered in ourselves. If that doesn't work for you, some people like to picture their feet on the ground, or literally put your feet on the ground and visualize or feel like roots growing from the bottom of your feet all the way to the center of the earth. Sorry, I'm realizing I'm saying a lot of funny words like feet. Like feet is already plural. I don't know why I added the S, but I did. So feet. Yeah. And really, whatever way just gets you feeling like calm and centered in yourself, just do that. And then ask yourself if one of these decks has a message for you. If you feel drawn to one of them, then you have your answer. Just click on that pile. The clickable button is in the description box below with the timestamp. If you're like looking at all these and you're like, nothing's speaking to me, and you've even looked at the numbers and where the timestamps are, and none of the numbers are really calling to you either, then there just might not be a message for you in this pick a card reading. That's okay. There's like thousands on YouTube, so there'll be one out there for you. Don't get caught up on that. Yeah, cool. That's pretty much all you do. It's not super complicated, and you can't really choose wrong. Once you get into the pile, if the energy that it's talking about doesn't vibe with you, then you know, you click on a different pile or a different reading. No harm, no foul, right? Okay. Awesome. Well, if you're drawn to a pile, I guess I'll see you in your card readings, and if not, I'll catch you around. All right. Hello, pile 1. So you had chose this Angel Therapy Oracle cards. I am just going to start with pulling from this, gosh, Golden Future energy cards, or whatever they're called. I don't know why they have to make names of Oracle cards so long. They're like 5 words. Can't just Golden Future. We'll just call them that. And we're just pulling a card for guidance for you right now will be the first one. The second one will be guidance for the planet, and third one will be the best way for you to serve. So when I see the guidance for the planet, I'm going to kind of use that as a sign about what maybe you're feeling a little bit maybe disempowered, a little bit upset, or just like frustrated with in the world that you don't like, or you want to change, or wish you could change. And the answer we're going to get for you is going to be in how you can serve the planet. So that's my intention for you, pile 1. So let's get started with this. Okay, guidance for you. Guidance for the planet. We didn't quite want that one. Oh gosh. I don't think I want to take any of these. Like 7 cards fell out. So let's just reshuffle these. Just 1 card. I want to keep this pretty simple little starter system. I don't know. I never do it, so I feel like I have to stick to it for what's the best way you can serve the planet. Right now. Boom. There you go. Awesome. Just make those a little more lined. Okay. These cards are so pretty. I mean, so colorful. Okay, so I actually love this. It is quite straightforward, which is awesome. Whenever you do a card setup when there's only 3 cards, I always really hope that it's very easy to read, and it is so awesome. But first side note, maybe this doesn't really matter to a lot of you, but like I've said this in a couple of other pick-a-card readings that I've done, where I have the impression that I might know some of you, like actually know some of you who've chosen this pile. And it's funny because as I think about it, it's like I might not know you as I'm currently filming this, which is kind of a hilarious thought, but I feel like like maybe you're seeing this 5 years from now and I know you then and you're watching this. And it's kind of weird because it's like, you'll see that it's like 5 years ago and you didn't even know me, but then I'm like, oh, but I recognize your energy. I know your energy. Someone in this collective, it's like, I recognize some of your energies as energy signatures that I know. Anyways, weird moment. Gonna let that go because otherwise I get too self-conscious about not trying to seem too crazy as I'm reading these things. So I'll just assume that you already know I'm a weird person and continue on. So anyways, back to this card reading. So work satisfaction, seek that which fulfills your soul. This is cute. So this is like guidance for you right now. You know what, let me just go over the vibe I'm getting. So I feel like this is where you're feeling like the work that you're doing, you're wanting to... I actually feel like for the majority of you, it's going to be completely change careers. This doesn't feel like a little semi-step or a half shift. This feels like you're changing octaves completely. I don't know why I'm getting like musical. No, maybe some of you are musicians, but I'm just like feeling like I'm like seeing the analogy of like, you're not just going up a semitone, you're going up a whole octave. I don't know, that's super random. But that's what I'm getting. And what I'm seeing the block and what you're struggling with, so from the planet, it says be a spreader of love. And I love that the health and healing blueprint, this card's all about like taking control of your own emotional health, physical health, mental health, you know, all the health bodies, not just one. Spiritual health, did I say that one already? But doing it by like extending a huge amount of self-love, and being a spreader of love for yourself and others around you, which is just such a perfect solution to this, where it says be a spreader of love. So this card, when it says what you're struggling with, that you're seeing in the world or in the planet or in the collective right now, is I feel like you see like a kind of a divide in people. So over here, I feel like you see that there's people who are very heart-centered and who maybe are overgivers, who are trying their best. I don't know. For some of you, I feel like you see that some people are really depleted. They get taken advantage of. Like their heart is on their sleeve, but it's like, it's out of balance, I feel like, is what I'm seeing. Like you see that they're going too far and above beyond, but forget their own needs. And then on the other side, you see like people who, I don't know if it's like if they've been wounded, but I feel like you see a lot of anger. I almost get like hostility on the other side. So it's almost like seeing how there's like this great imbalance, where there's like two extremes, like the people who are overgiving and not self-honoring, and then these people who are deflecting responsibility and almost like blaming and projecting. And I can't quite, it's like, I feel like when you see this concept, it's just like you just feel it and know it on so many different levels, and you see it in so many different angles and aspects, and like the kind of like the paradox of it all, or the irony of it all. I don't know if that quite makes sense. That I feel like this is like a huge concept. And I'm having a hard time saying it in a few words, because it's like, it's not just that you're seeing angry people. It's like you're seeing that the world gets wounded, or some people get wounded, and they go in two different paths. And some of them don't realize that they're, in both cases, they're both out of balance, and they're like, I don't know, I feel like you feel like disempowered sometimes, or you feel frustrated that you can't like, what's the right word here? Like, I feel like it's all exhausting. It's like you see people who just need to stop overgiving and have some boundaries and just stand up for themselves and recognize that they're being bulldozed by some people. And these people are these people on the other side who've just been hurt and who have gone into like super defense, triggered mode, projecting mode. I was kind of saying that. I don't know. I feel like I'm just not quite nailing it. But I do feel like you're in the middle, where it's like you're just able to witness these different things that are happening. And I think that's why you can find yourself a little frustrated, is because you recognize both sides have their problems and their imbalances and their own challenges to get out of the situation. And ultimately it seems like one is like overgiving love and one is like withholding love. And I even think when it says be a spreader of love, it's almost like your solution literally is in doing your own work. And I feel like you have. So I want to be careful here, because I don't want anyone who's watching this pile to feel like they are not doing their own personal work, their own mental health, emotional, spiritual, physical work, because I actually get that you really do this. And I feel like that's why it's such a beautiful solution. It's like, as you heal yourself and you are able to see where these different attributes of these people come up in yourself, because we all have everything in us, right? But it's this like beautiful, like no, it's not objective, the word's not the word I'm looking for. You have this beautiful sort of off to the side of the conflict perspective. So like the third party perspective, it's like you can really see and witness it all. And I feel like over here, you can see and witness these two groups within you, and when and where and in what areas in your life you've been in these energies. And it doesn't mean, I want to be careful to like, it doesn't mean that you are completely this or you're completely that. But I think the reason why you have this beautiful third party kind of higher perspective of the whole situation is because you have gone through periods of your life where you were maybe more disempowered or felt more like a victim in your life. And then there's parts of your life where you were an overgiver, a lover, because you were trying to bring it into balance. And it's just the natural flow, right? Sometimes when the pendulum swings, we go to the far side and then to the other far side before we come to where you are now, beautifully in the middle. So it's like you have this awesome, this higher wisdom, and it's just really telling you, the more you work on yourself, the more you deal with these wounds and triggers, false belief systems in yourself, the more that helps change the people around you, because you now are the change in the world that the world needs. And energetically, that just helps people shift. It helps teach these overgivers that there's another way to like bring things into balance. They don't need to overgive and burn themselves out to like bring more love into the world. Them just loving themselves enough to take care of their needs, but also give love to others, have an open heart that works both ways. Ooh, I actually think that's really the big thing with this health and healing thing, is having a heart that is open to giving and receiving equally and honoring yourself. That is actually probably like one of the hardest things, right? It doesn't seem like it should be that complicated, but I think it's super complicated for us because our like logical minds come in and we're like, well, what about this? What about that? What if this happens? And it's like, those are all valid, but at the end of the day, if we keep playing that game or going down that line of thinking, we're going to be on one of these two divides, and nobody wins. So I feel like it's just like, just keep doing that, being strong and being like, you didn't choose that card deck, but the Inner Peace card deck, funny enough, has a card in here that says the Leader of Light, and that's what I'm really thinking of. I was like, can I quickly see the card? Oh, here we go. Look at that. This card comes out a lot on this channel, and it's called the Leader of Light. And I feel like this is actually your energy here. It's like, where are you being called to serve and support others? But it's like, be the one to like energetically, and not just energetically, but like in all ways, lead in the energy that you want to see in the world, right? Because that literally teaches people so much. Like, I don't know about you, but in my life, the people who I've learned the most from were people who were not like actual teachers. Like, they were just people who I saw them living in a way that I wanted to experience. Like, if they were like really close with the people around them and they had really supportive relationships, and I was so inspired by them, and I wanted to have more of that in my life. So I've learned through the examples. It's like, I wouldn't even say examples, but like, some people might not even know there's another possibility out there because they've never thought to question the way they were being. I think that's kind of what you do for people, is that you make them question if the reality they're living in is actually the only reality that's possible for them. So can you see how that's like super transformative for people and not something to just like underlook or underappreciate about yourself? So yeah, I do feel like you have gone far, but I do feel like there's areas in your life where you recognize that maybe there's still some beliefs around love. I don't know, it's gonna be different for all of you, but for some of you it could be that maybe when some fears come up, or like some situations that are similar to situations you've been in the past, maybe you find that you go a little bit out of that receiving energy, or you can go into like old habits. I really want to reiterate though that I feel like you've done a lot of work, which is once again the only reason why you can even see all this. But it's just, I feel like there's some area in your life, and maybe this will come up in more of the cards that we pull, where I feel like you're certain you can still let a little bit more in. Yeah, just a little bit more. The other thing too is, you know what, I'm not going to say that. We'll see if something else comes up in the cards. I might be projecting. And I feel like you might get a lot of people who project on you, so let's get past that. Hummingbirds though, I really like that. I mean, there's a lot of hummingbirds in this specific oracle card deck, so maybe that's just normal, but they don't usually have like ravens and stuff, or like I see these as like, this is like I want to say a hawk. So anyways, maybe that means something to you. Apparently hawk is all about seeing the bigger picture. So maybe that's just like another little message for you, is that you keep trying to see the bigger picture. Other thing I want to mention too is like when it says 13 and then 14, I just like that it's saying like you're feeling like you need a change, and then it's like your next immediate step is to just go into this. That's the next step to get that change, is to just work deeper on yourself, on where you're recognizing there's blocks in other people, if there is any of those blocks still within you in any way. And like I said, it's going to be totally different than how it is in these people, just in the sense that like I feel like these are people who maybe haven't looked at that before, or don't even know there's a possibility of another way in the world. And for you, it's just like you're like going down like the 10th layer that you've like dived into. Does that make sense? I really just want to make sure this pile knows that your energy does show that you've done a lot of work. But you know, there's always weird layers. It's just, even probably when you're like 80 or 90, you're still going to be like, oh, look, another layer to this. It's just part of the human journey. Like, none of us are going to be perfect because there's always more shit happening. So anyways, that's what I'm getting for that. Let's pull some Louise LA cards, which feels very appropriate for the themes that you're working with. So we're just asking for some affirmation or guidance for you around what has come through. Okay, we're gonna do 3 because apparently we like the number 3 today. There we go. And look at that, you got a little orange, which is all about like stepping more into, actually this makes sense. I mean, a lot of the stuff that come up is like artistic, creative, musical for this pile. So it seems like it's stepping more into your creativity, into your joy, into that playfulness, into just enjoyment. For some of you, it could be like more into your sensuality, more into your feeling, however that makes sense to you. So it says, today, no person, place, or thing can irritate or annoy me. I choose to be at peace. And I am neither too little nor too much, and I do not have to prove myself to anyone. So I actually find that is very interesting for coming up for with the work card. So that's interesting. Okay. I say interesting a lot. When I make a mistake, I realize that it is only part of the learning process. And we have a little butterfly there. And then it says, as I forgive myself, it becomes easier to forgive others. I love this. Perfect for this card where we're saying, like, I feel like there's like this frustration or almost like exhaustion around the fact that you see people continuously repeating cycles and patterns that are not serving them, that just keep perpetuating, there's a good word for it, perpetuating these cycles of sort of destruction, self-destruction, like the groups, like I feel like you see these people on one side just causing more victims, and then, you know, like it's, you can really see the annoyingness of these cycles. I can so see why that would be frustrating. And then here we have, no matter how old I am, I can always learn more, and I do so with confidence. Okay, I love this because I was just talking about age, because I felt like some of you might felt like after a certain point there can only be so many layers, or after a certain point or a certain age you can only do so much. But it's like, no, this literally is saying there's always room to grow and to let more in, let more love in, let more joy in. And that's actually kind of a beauty about life, is that you can always like have a little bit more of something that you didn't even know was possible. So I am willing to learn. The more I learn, the more I grow. And for some reason, I actually am weirdly drawn to pointing out the France on the book, which I've never noticed in this card. Maybe some of you are even thinking about traveling to France specifically. I don't know. That seems like a random message. The other thing I'm also noticing is the wine for some reason. So I wonder, like, I just have to, so this is gonna be super specific, but I almost see, like, I see this person is lost interest in the glass of wine and is now paying attention to this new adventure. That's the other thing I'm seeing too. So I wonder if you've been feeling frustrated lately and maybe you're like drinking a little bit more than normal, or you're doing something, like wine can just be symbolic of you taking in, so it could be food, it could be a habit, a pattern, a routine that isn't exactly serving you in the best way. It's just sort of a distraction right now, because it's like you're just frustrated and tired, and it's like, instead of going to that thing to self-soothe that isn't really serving you, it's not actually, like, how do I put this? Maybe it's like dampening the current emotion that you're feeling, but in the long run, it's just building up under the surface and the frustration is growing. So it's like, what is this other thing? There's another thing in life that can get you actually more excited, get you more, I do think excited, looking forward, finding that next thing that brings you joy and excitement. And that might even be why there was like a lot of orange coming up for these affirmations, where it's like, find the joy again, and maybe just having your awareness that this, whatever it is for you, this pattern or this thing, maybe isn't actually helping, just it's a temporary, I keep getting the word dampening, which I'm sorry if you don't like that word, but this is the word they keep giving me, is dampening. But then you like wake up and you feel just like the same. And then it just creates that like habit of like having another glass of wine or doing that activity more. And then it's like at the end of the day, there's like this buildup on the surface that doesn't feel as good as it could. So yeah, I don't feel like this is like a huge horrible habit that any of you have, but it's like something that you have identified that you're starting to do more. And this is just like a little confirmation to be like, hey, maybe we need to remember that there's other things that gets you stoked in life, like travel or new experiences, something like that. Adventure, good French food, French bread. So I was like, well, French food. I feel like France is known to have good food, but I think it's really just the bread, right? The bread and the wine. Okay, anyways, that's all I have for this portion of the reading. The next thing we're gonna do is we're finally gonna pull these cards that you chose. And we are, yeah, I'm like, what are we pulling again? Guidance and advice for how you can stay balanced, which is, I think, going to be good for this pile. Boom. I keep saying the word boom a lot. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe I always say it and it's just coming into my awareness now. Who knows? It seems super bro-like. Boom. Like, what era is that even from? I don't know. Cool. Anyways, we are going to focus now on guidance and advice around staying balanced for you pile ones. Guidance and advice. Okay, also on a side note, some of you, okay, so maybe I will. When I was looking at that one card, the blueprint card, wait, let me bring it back in. I was like, some of you, they're literally, it might be that you're like pretty balanced in your own emotional body, but some of you might have been hesitant to let in like a certain person. It could be romantic, or it could just be like a really close friendship. I don't know. I can't, there's something there with like, there's some kind of connection maybe that you've been hesitant to fully receive or fully allow in. And when I saw the France card just now and I was shuffling these cards, it was just saying like, some of you might, like French are known for love and romance and being very emotional. So maybe for some of you, like there is a little block or another layer to peel back on maybe how deeply you're letting like romance in or romantic love in. And maybe it's even like you just are wanting even deeper. Like it doesn't even mean that there has to be something wrong. Maybe you're just wanting more of a soul to soul connection. Maybe that's what this card is. I don't know. I feel like this feels very fifth dimensional. So it's like you're wanting like a deeper connection with something past the 3D realm, if that makes sense. I don't even know if I understand what I'm saying, but maybe it makes sense to you. I don't know. You take it or leave it. Anyways, so, oops. Yeah, guidance, focus again, Danielle. Guidance on staying balanced. You guys might struggle with being grounded already. I'm getting that vibe. Grounded. So a lot of people who like experience ADHD or like super hyper or drink a lot of coffee usually need to be more grounded. Like you literally need to stop throughout the day, take some deep breaths and ground into your feet, because it just means your feet are not grounded on the ground and your attention is everywhere, and it's usually your mind's a lot more chaotic. That also can just happen if people have had a lot of trauma in their life. It's very natural for your body to naturally not want to be grounded and rooted. It thinks like for some reason it's safer to be disgrounded or ungrounded. But the irony is when your soul is grounded in your feet, fear and chaos can't get in. You're like a strong rooted tree versus a tree that only has one limb sitting on the surface. Like a wind can knock that over, where the tree that's rooted, like have you seen them survive avalanches? It's insane. So anyways, I think that's always like a good visual for me to really understand the importance of rootedness and groundedness in ourselves, because our natural instinct is kind of opposite of what it should be. We should get more grounded when we feel scared and chaotic, not less. But we don't do that for some reason. Okay, anyways. We're just asking for guidance for staying balanced. And we're actually going to pull some cards now. Finally. Okay, boom, and boom. Okay, do we get gas? We want another one. I don't know. Funny pile. You guys are funny people. Okay, Archangel Michael, you're a powerful light worker. This does not surprise me when you got the cards you got at the start. Okay. Aw. Look at all this heart energy and this playfulness energy. So this is actually just right on theme here. Whenever I see goddess and fairies, they're all about being more playful, being more, what would you say that? True to yourself, true to your emotions. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Like, everyone has emotions and feminine energy in them, and everyone has masculine energy in them and logical minds in them. So it just means the area in your life where you're working on, or the guidance for you to stay more balanced. So I would say this pile can get very logic thinking, or very heady, or very, yeah, I'm going to say logical minded sometimes. And what it's calling for you is to reconnect with your heart energy. So literally could be putting your hands on your heart. I think that you might be more physical people. Maybe visualizations isn't like your strong suit right now. So if you put your hands on your heart and then you just focus on like the heartbeat there, or what the energy feels like there, that's a good way to like feel into that part of your body and like let the mind calm and bring the focus to the heart. And then you ask your heart a question like, what do I want to do right now? Where am I not feeling loved? Like, it's crazy. You just can ask. When you focus the intention on the heart, and you can ask that question and you'll get answers. So it could just be a feeling, a knowing, a thought, a word that pops into your head on something you should do. And that's your answer. It's that easy. It's crazy. Mediumship. You have the natural ability to connect with departed loved ones. This is interesting. I mean, you all could actually resonate with being mediums, but I actually feel like some of you have just lost people. I don't even think necessarily recently. This feels like just you have lost people in your life, like people who are very close to you. Friends, I think, good friends, loved ones. Some of you could be parents, but I actually get a lot of friend vibes. And it's just like saying like they are still there. I don't know. That's like a little shout out to you. Some of you might just need to hear that. I mean, this is the holiday time, so we all usually are getting faced with like the people we've lost. But just feels like a shout out, a little shout out that, maybe when you have felt like you've seen them. I think in nature is kind of the vibe. Like, you guys seem to really like nature. Like all these cards have like flowers and shit in them, or outdoorsy themed. And I just feel like if you're out there and you feel like you're connecting with them, or you see them, or you're thinking of them, then I would trust that you are getting a message from them, or it is them trying to communicate with you. I think some of you already know that, but sometimes it's nice to just have the confirmations. The other thing too, like, you know what, this actually feels like I was looking for advice for you to stay balanced, but I feel like this is just kind of like confirmations for you. Like, you are a very sweet soul. You're very, like, you really do try to come from the heart, and you really do try to send more love out into the world. And I feel like sometimes people misinterpret your intentions. That has nothing to do with you. That's just like their own journey and their own challenges in life. You just need to know that you know you're coming from like this really caring and compassionate place, and whatever people are saying to you is just a projection. I think for sure. Oh, that was my cat snoring. That was so weird. They don't normally snore that loudly. I'm not even sure if you heard that, but it just surprised me. Yeah, just beautiful people. Archangel Michael, so he always comes through to say, like, if you've been worried, like if you're worried about something kind of backfiring on you, or people like misinterpreting you, or people just not being very kind towards you, it usually says like, don't worry about that. Like, you're good. You've learned some things in your life, and I almost feel like too, like, how do I quite word this? I feel like you guys are getting out of the cycles of karma. Does that make sense? It's almost like the more awareness you have, and the more you can like discern like these different roles people are stuck in, it is like a really good sign that you have chosen to kind of step out of those loops and cycles. And you don't need to learn through karma. It's almost like you can choose just to expand and grow yourself because you realize there's blocks in your energies and you're not needing a karmic lesson to get that experience. Doesn't mean everything's always going to work out perfectly, because that's just not how the human experience works, and we do like to have different experiences for some reason that are like higher or lower feeling. But I just feel like there's just things are changing for you. That's what I want to say. Everything here feels like there's a general like more loving energy coming into your life, like more supportive people who come from more of a hard place. And also just like, I feel like you're going to meet more people who are more like, maybe more like you, like in this more playful energy. Like, and it's weird to explain it because they feel like they're actually very self-aware to the point where they've realized like to take yourself seriously in this life is a waste of this life. Like it is to have fun. It is to like bring out that like childish energy that we stop at some point. And some of us have more of than others. And I feel like you guys might have a little bit more of it than other people do, or you're learning to reconnect with it. It's different. There's definitely two vibes here. Some of you have always been known for being too lighthearted or too playful, and people don't understand it and can take it the wrong way. Like they think you need to be more serious or something. And then other ones of you, you're like, I want to step back into that. And that's where I feel like this goddess card is coming up, where it's like, just embrace and follow that intuition and be more playful and step back into that, because you are reconnecting with it right now. And that's what makes you feel more balanced in your life. And you're not overthinking or over logicking things, because you're just remembering it's about the experience of whatever you're experiencing now. So if you don't want your life to be, sorry, I just had to pause and then play the camera, because as soon as it gets to 29 minutes, it just stops for some reason. So I just had to pause and then play. We're almost done though. That distracted me. I was like, I'll do it real quick and I won't lose my train of thought. And I did anyways. Goodness, it's gone. There's that ungroundedness. Well, changing topics a little bit. The other thing I'm seeing too is there's some communication stuff going on here too. I can't tell though. I think it's communication with yourself and learning to communicate with that heart energy and that part of your body, because whenever I see a lot of closed eyes, it's usually meaning to work on communication with what your deepest desires are, what you really want to experience. Oh, that's what I was talking about, experiencing. So yeah, like you hear people talk about main character energy. I don't know, that's like a thing sometimes now, where it's like you get to be the character in your life, and like whatever you're experiencing right now or choose to experience right now. And when I say choose, I just mean like if you're like not feeling very happy and you're feeling really stuck and you don't leave your house for the whole day and you're like, I hate my life right now, then it's like choose to make a different action. Take an uncomfortable decision to change something so that you don't feel like you're just like being pushed through life and you're not living it. Like maybe just literally put on some clothes. If it's cold, put on some good layers and go outside. You already just changed something. And then maybe from there you just take another step. Like, where are you gonna go? I don't know. A yoga class? A running club? I don't know. People always tell me they're joining running clubs. You don't have to. I don't like running either. If you don't like running, I don't blame you. But I just, you know what I mean? It's just an example. You just go for it. Whatever it is to change it. If you feel stuck in a routine, do something different. Like go to a different coffee shop, go to a different grocery store. You might not really like, you might be like, I like my other grocery store. Why am I here? It's like, because you're creating change in your life. That's what you need. You just need some change. Because even the smallest things, maybe you meet someone, maybe you find a new type of cheese there that you like. I don't know. There's just change, different experience. I don't know. I'm laughing because I don't know. It seems like a hilarious example. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with this tangent. Anywho, is there any other guidance I need to pull for you guys? Let's see here. You know what? Just to sum things up, let's just pull one more card. Every time I say one more, this pile doesn't like getting just one card though, I feel. Two cards? Two cards. Okay. Two cards per pile. We have base chakra. Look at that. That's actually one I was hoping would come out for you. And emotional sensitivity. So base chakra is just staying grounded and rooted. Choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances as your words determine your outcome. Yeah, you know this, pile ones. You're very clever. You know that however you choose to put your energy or focus on becomes your reality. This is just a little reminder of maybe areas in your life where, because of some of this frustration and just getting tired by like seeing these destructive cycles in other people that are around you, it's like, make sure it's just you stay in your own energy, using words that you want to use, and you're not being influenced by your environment, because it does happen, right? Like they say, like we do reflect the people we spend the most time with. So it's just like bring to your energy and your awareness. If this is you, or if this is the collective's energy impacting you. There we go. Wow. Also, I mean, I'm feeling called to just say, like, maybe some of you would resonate with like smells. Like maybe you guys are like really good smellers. That's like a funny thing to say. Maybe yeah, I don't know. I'm not an amazing smeller, but I could just see lavender being very calming and grounding for you. Maybe you have like an essential oil, or maybe like you have some dried lavender around. That's a thing here. I don't know if that's a thing everywhere. And maybe you just sniff it or something. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys definitely have really good senses of smell. And maybe like sometimes you've hated that, because like, I'm just picturing like BO, bad feet smells. Sorry about that, but I feel like you can also use it to your advantage of smelling nice things. Emotional sensitivity. Honor and respect your deep sensitivities, as it is a gift to us all. So this is just like the end all confirmation energy. Is like, yeah, you do have emotions, pile one, and it's beautiful. And actually, like it says, like you being a loving leader, or a leader of love in this world is actually such a blessing. And it does mean that like people's energy around you sometimes can mean that you just need to take a step away from that, because it's just like, it's hard to be very open-hearted around lots of people around, lots of, I don't know, what am I trying to say? People who have a lot of trauma, who are just projecting. I think you're in that, I don't know, I think it's your career. I think your career puts you in that situation. So it's just really saying, like, I do feel like there is going to be some positive changes in your career choices, and you are learning to honor like this aspect of yourself. And I hope you're starting to see the strength of it, because it really is a thing that helps heal the world. Being more open-hearted is helping heal that problem of people not feeling like they're able to have an open heart. Oof, complicated. Paradoxical shit going on here. Anyways, yeah. And these people are outside again. I think you guys like being outside. So, yeah. I think I'm gonna end it here. Hope this brought some clarity for you all. No, I didn't tell you your exact job, because only you know what is right for you, and you just know that you're needing a change. So you follow that heart of yours. It's gonna lead you the right way. Yeah, and I wish you the best. And if you like this reading, this is where I say my little spiel. If you like this reading, please leave a like or a comment, as it helps the channel get more views, or it helps this specific video get more views, and I appreciate that. All right, that sounds so corny. Anyways, y'all have a good day, and maybe I'll catch you around. Hello, pile 2. So you all chose the Inner Peace Oracle card decks. This is Millie. Whenever she appears, usually I end up having to refilm a video, so we'll see. Hopefully not. I guess you'll never know, because then it just never gets posted. Okay, so we're gonna start. If you didn't watch the intro, that's cool. We're just gonna start with this deck, and I'm pulling only 3 cards, one for guidance for you, guidance for the planet, and then the best way for you to serve the planet. It's gonna give me some clarity on, look at that, battery dying already. Okay, hilarious. This is my 3rd battery. But you might actually get the intro of that, of me being like, oh no, my cat's showing up. And then my battery immediately started dying. So hopefully this one doesn't immediately die, because it's my last battery, and I'll have to take a break. And I have to upload this today, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyways, yeah, so I think I was saying, what I'm gonna see is like what you're struggling with that you're seeing in the collective energy. That will be what card 2 reveals, and card 3 will be guidance on how you can feel empowered to change it. Because, you know, a lot of times we just can get feeling. That is Millie now kicking a mouse toy, a fake mouse toy. yes, it sounds like a bird, but it is a toy mouse. Oh gosh, this is hilariously cute. She's oh my gosh, she's like literally like running from one end of the kitchen, attacking it like 2 swipes, and then running all the way down the stairs. Now she's screaming down the stairs, and then she'll run up, attack the mouse, run past it again, probably scream again. So anyways, that's what's happening. Let's pull some cards for you. I mean, pets just will be pets, right? I always wonder, what does it mean when this happens in this pile? Chaos? Feeling like life is like beating you up randomly, and then it gets better, and then it comes back and jumps on you again? I don't know. You tell me. So, guidance for you right now. Pile 2s. I almost said pile 1. Shit. Okay, well, I kind of was wondering if some pile 1s would watch this pile as well. This just makes me think some of you might be pile 1s. You don't have to watch it if you weren't drawn to it. It's sometimes just a confirmation that people from that pile might have a secondary message here, which is cool. Second card we're pulling is guidance for the planet. And you're struggling with the collective. Okay. And the best way for you to serve the planet right now. Pile 2s. Unicorns! Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so freaking magical. Okay, spread the light of unicorns. So, yeah, we have nature. Tune into the natural world. That is for you. So, let me just actually double check here before I'm getting kind of a vibe of like feeling disconnected from life, feeling disconnected from kind of like the universe. So maybe feeling like you're isolated and alone, and like you're kind of like pushing against a wall to get things to work for you sometimes. That can be the energy of sometimes feeling disconnected. The other message, secondary message here, can be is being not grounded enough, that everything feels very chaotic. So when I see this pile, I actually feel like there's a very strong suggestion to literally meditate. I don't just mean like close your eyes for a few seconds and get grounded. I mean, I feel like you might be experiencing a lot of chaos in your life right now, or a lot of changes. Something's going on where I really feel like there's Malik again, where you're just needing to actually reserve 5 to 10 minutes a day to take a pause and meditate. So if you don't meditate, what does that look like? Sorry, I want to suddenly zoom in. I feel like you guys want to see these cards better. There's a lot of, let's see, zoom in more. There we go. Hopefully I remember to zoom out so you can see the other cards later. But yeah. So I actually get, for some of you, like you might do well like playing like nature sounds, like just like maybe YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, like a meditational track that has like water and like is it tropical? I'm thinking like Amazonian forest sounds. Like there's like these beautiful bird sounds and water rushing, not quite rushing, gently rushing, calming rushing. I don't know. It's very specific. And just like letting whatever comes up in your mind come up and surface, and just letting like things work themselves out. Like if you're needing to see, like maybe you've been like trying to tell your anxiety, we're not gonna worry right now. I'll deal with this later. But then the irony of that is like if you try to tell like emotion of like that part of you that worries or has anxiety not to worry, naturally what happens when we tell something like don't be angry, don't be sad, like we usually become more of that thing we're not acknowledging. And this is kind of like one of those moments where it's like you might just need to take time to just let whatever part of you is trying to communicate with you say their piece, so that it can actually be released instead of sort of put to the side and then have it build up. I do think this is with worry though. I think it's worry and anxiety. I don't think it's anger. But you trust what's coming up. I just keep getting the words concern. Concern is more the word that might resonate with this pile. Yeah, so just getting grounded will help you like release that, calm that, breathe it out. Like maybe even like a 5-minute breath work would be like the thing to calm down your nervous system, with the intention of you're breathing in clean new air and you're exhaling chaos, anxiety, all that is not serving you, worry, fear. You know, it might just get you to go deep enough that you can just get to the root of the problem if your like mind is going crazy. You can also start with guided meditations too. I feel like those are great for people who are just in a place where they're not sure how to shut down their logic mind or their ego mind or their chaos thoughts to kind of go deeper. It's kind of complicated at the start. It's weird. Meditation's simple, but we overcomplicate it as humans. So guided meditations are great. Don't feel like you're not allowed to do those. I started there, and I even still do them sometimes because I love them, and it's nice. Anyways, the other secondary thing I can't stop looking at is the swan, and then this like outline of a person, of a counterpart, which I was gonna bring a love deck into one of these piles, but I just didn't because I was like, you know what, we don't need to talk about romance every reading, right? It's probably getting old, but here I am being like, now in 2 piles. The romance is everything, right? I mean, it isn't everything, but like, it is a huge thing in our life. Like, career is a huge thing in our life. Relationships are a huge thing in our life and part of our experience as a human. So they're gonna come up. Yeah, interesting. I feel like you guys are trying to like call in, I want to say counterpart. I don't quite know even what that means, but I feel like just like you're not necessarily wanting any more karmic relationships if you've been in them. You're not wanting someone to teach you a lesson. That's kind of like the wording I'm getting. So I just feel like you're just in a stage where you're like really trying to bring in more harmony, I think is the right words. Harmony into your life. And when I see this, I feel like this person's energy that you're calling in, you're really calling in just like a very loving, supportive soul. That's like what I want to say. That can meet you where you're at. And actually does bring out the best in you. Like, I feel like people always say that, and then we end up with people who don't bring out the best in us. Like, I feel like you want someone who brings out, like, certain attributes in yourself, and that's going to be dependent on each person, but maybe if you're like, I want to be someone who's more nurturing, or who's able to be more nurturing, who is able to be more gentle, who is able to be more kind, and maybe people in your other relationships have brought out more of, like, a need to, like, stand up for yourself aggressively or set extremely harsh boundaries all the time. Like, does that make sense? It's like you're wanting someone who's just honors and respects you and brings out these more gentle, beautiful aspects of yourself, not the harsher ones that, yeah. Anyways, so why the swan's important, I can't remember. I'm thinking of a specific oracle card deck where the swan comes through, but I think it talks about reflection and looking at yourself and where or how, like, you haven't allowed in the things that you've wanted in your life, or where you need to create changes to allow in that kind of energy in your life. And that's kind of what makes me think about this meditational stuff, is like, maybe it's going to give you time to really get still and like get some clarity on like a past relationship and like the lessons you learned from it, what you're not wanting to repeat about it, growth opportunities for you. And I feel like green flags for you in the future, as well as like red flags for you in the future. And I want to be very specific when I tune into this energy. It's going to be things where it's like, it's not like, red flag isn't quite the right word. It's like, what is like a deal breaker for you and your value system? It would be fine for somebody else, but it's just not aligned with you, and knowing what those are and just helping you discern in future what people you do want to give your time to in that way. So it just feels like very reflective. Getting grounded, meditating, getting very reflective. There's a lot of information around this one card. 2 here is, what was it again? Guidance for the planet. Seek that which fulfills your soul. So yeah, this did come up in pile 1, but in a different placement. But I do feel like the message is a little bit different here, because this one here, it feels like, hang on, sorry. I'm actually starting to talk about guidance for you again. I need to pause, get my thoughts ordered for a second. Okay, from what I'm getting from this, I'm still a little confused about the planet, but I kind of feel like I'm so drawn to the fact that this person is in this beautiful creative energy. This, I don't know, I feel like it, if you've chosen this pile, like you're really, really getting into that creative, expressive is the word I'm looking for, expressive side of yourself. And I feel like that's just so important for you right now. And this is like, even why this meditation is important. It's like you're really trying to connect with the emotional body, that expressive body. I'm gonna say sensual side again, like just like pleasure in all forms. Like, I don't know, that just makes sense to me. It should make sense to you if you chose this pile and it resonates. But like what I see here is surrounding yourself in a world where you're just interacting with other people who encourage that energy. So that's why it's confusing me about why this is advice for the planet. I almost feel like it's like making your own world. Like, just like only interacting with other people who are trying to flourish and grow and expand and develop themselves and express themselves and are trying to find what's bright, like people who are like on the same path as you right now in self-expression and self-discovery. Being in a world where that is normalized and okay. And not wasting your time being in the other world, being in the world where people are like, this is what you have to do, this is the way you have to do it, no fun time. I don't know, it's just like the vibe I'm getting. Okay, yeah, like I said, I don't quite understand why that came out in that placement, but it does also make sense at the same time. And then how to solve that. So I feel like this is already telling you that, but it's like unicorns, spread the light of unicorns. Like it says, you just being and that energy, like literally defying. Is that the right word? Defying social norms, like you believing in all this, you living in a reality like where you're in sync with I don't know, I almost feel like more spirituality. Oh, goodbye artist card. I just feel like, well, I'm getting so tongue-tied. You being like at the forefront of your emotions. So we have the moon here in the corner, which is all about just being connected with that femininity, that expressive side, that I kind of want to say magical side, and just that is the solution. That is your solution. Don't dull yourself down, and just keep growing bigger, even if it does seem crazy to other people. And the other thing as well with this is I feel like it's just talking about like growing more in your own uniqueness, like just completely, I don't want to say like completely deciding to be who you want to be because it feels true to you and authentic to you, really connecting with your higher self, your authentic self, and not worrying about fitting in. Like, oh, I'm just getting it so like unicorns, like, you know, they're like 1 in a million. And everyone has their own unique heart energy, soul energy. Everyone is different. That's why like when you do distant Reiki or distant energy work, it works because everyone has their own unique energy signature. No one else has the same as you. And I feel like it's just saying embracing that and not holding it back. Not worrying about if you should exist or not. Like I keep thinking that, like you're like, oh, I don't know if like if this can exist in this world. Like keep thinking purple unicorn. I don't know why a purple unicorn. Is that an expression? I don't know. But it's like, yeah, you do exist, and don't hold yourself back. Just keep connecting with that that unique self of yours, that authentic self. That's the word I want to look for. Authentic self. Learning to really fully express yourself. It's beautiful, and it's unique, and it's not meant to be like everything else in the world. And that's okay. That's why you're going to make sure you're surrounding yourself with other people who are doing the same thing as you. Because you don't need to be just like them. You're in the same energy of wanting to be authentically you. That's the connecting factor. That's the thing that makes you bond and is beautiful, is because there's other people trying to do this too, and you fit in wonderfully with them, even though you're not being the same. Does that make sense? Okay. So next thing I want to pull is just some Louise L. Hay affirmation cards for you, and we're going to pull 3, just asking if there's anything else you need to know right now, or guidance for you to know right now. Well, you know what? 3 fell out. I'll take it. I don't love it when this happens, but I can recognize it's my own human who doesn't like it. So here it says, the perfect job is looking for me, and we are being brought together now. And I deserve to have a successful career, and I accept it now. So that's really interesting. Definitely some ties to pile 1. It says, I move through life knowing that I am safe, divinely protected, and guided. And my consciousness is filled with healthy, positive, loving thoughts that reflect themselves in my experience. I do really like this as well, because this just, to me, says, like, you're safe, you're protected, it's safe for you to be who you are, and to take the time to discover who that is, and get to know yourself on an even deeper level than you already do. And last one is, as I change my thoughts, the world around me changes. Everyone in my life has something to teach me. We have a purpose in being together. Yeah, I like this too, because I feel like there is like this energy of uncertainty for this pile around if you'll be accepted for being different, or if you'll really fit in with everyone. And it's like, no, you're meant to look at these are all different. They're different sizes and colors and shapes and sizes. And that's what makes them so perfect for each other, is they all learn from each other, and they all have their own lessons and experiences to teach each other, and it's beautiful. Having everyone who's the same in a group, there's actually nothing really to talk about. We can complain about the same things, I guess, but usually that's about it. So the differences is the strengths. And the heart energy, you're matching the heart energy. That's what connects you. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're finally going to pull cards from the deck you chose, the Inner Peace Oracle cards. Clear this away here. So, we're just pulling some guidance and advice for you pile 2s. Guidance and advice for pile 2s. And I'll leave that one. Okay, and I just accidentally pulled the cards upside down, so no worries. It's not everything's reversed. It's just I had the deck upside down. Okay, we'll go like this. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, so here we have, oneness is the way. You can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you. Great awakening, walk in your truth, stand firm in your light, trust your faith, dive into the unfolding journey, and the collective field is impacting you, unseen forces in action. Okay, so some interesting advice here. So when I'm saying this oneness is the way, and then its reflective question for you is, how can you show more compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? And I kind of feel like this is calling on you to, instead of maybe seeing all the differences between you and somebody else, what are the similarities? What are the connecting factors? Because there is something. Do you both prioritize and value friendships? Do you both prioritize and value compassionate friendships? Do you both come from a heart-centered place? Do you both value empowering leadership? Like, I just feel like it's saying, like, whatever's going on, it's almost like your mind has started to pick up the pattern of seeing everything that's different about you and other people. And I wonder if this is a little bit of the collective impacting you right now, like a little bit of chaos. Like, there's a lot of like group energy right now that's pointing the finger at what someone else is doing wrong and how they're different from them, or how this and that. And there's usually less of a focus on what we all have in common, because it's the commonalities that strengthen us, right? So I don't know why I want to go like this. Make a little, I don't know, tower thing. Who knows? I just feel satisfied doing that. Anyways, Yeah, so I feel like it's just calling on you to just bring that in your awareness. Where is there similarities? Maybe it's even like if you're having conflict with a person in your life, maybe you both have kids and you parent in the same, or you both worry about your kids in the same way, or you have pets, or you both have a partner, or you're both trying to call in a partner, and like there's something that's really key that does connect you, but you're only seeing the differences right now. So it's like it's all about mirroring, and maybe what they're mirroring to you even is your own fears. So maybe this person has a lot of fear of judgment, or maybe this person has a lot of fear of being friends with women or friends with men. And maybe that's even like the lesson there, but it's just saying it might help you not feel so isolated and so outsidery. I feel like you struggle with feeling outsider, like an outsider. And it's like start looking for commonalities and common values. So then here we have, you can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you. What wisdom does your higher self have for you? So this is kind of where I feel like the meditation thing is coming back in, where it's like, if you're feeling pulled in all sorts of directions, and like, look at this, like this person feels like they're fretting and they're worried and there's just like a lot of chaos going on. It's like, connect with that higher self. Do that meditation or do that breath work. Even if it's just 5 minutes, I think you'll feel more grounded and connected to that higher self, to that higher guidance within you, to your heart energy, and you'll get more clarity. And I know it seems too easy, but I actually feel like it is going to be that easy as you start to develop that connection with yourself and grow it. So it becomes easier, and then you don't need to take 5 minutes to connect. All of a sudden, you just connect in with the idea of that higher energy, and you are connected just like that. I think that's where I see your energy going, which is cool. Great awakening, walk in your truth, stand firm in your light. How can you trust yourself more? Yeah, I really, really do feel like this is like learning to trust your emotional body, your higher self, your authentic self, your heart. I really feel like this pile is like been thrown in a little bit to a lesson. Something happened. It might have been from a past relationship or a recent relationship that ended, where you're really learning to trust your emotions and your intuition. Something happened where like I do feel like literally woke you up to it, or you're like, oh my gosh, like I should have trusted my intuition about this. I don't know. There's some big lessons there, and I feel like you're learning them. You are learning them. You're growing this muscle. That's the thing I want to really like make sure I'm pointing out, is I feel like this pile, you're learning to grow it. And don't be too hard on yourself, because every muscle is not going to be strong the first go around, right? It gets stronger and stronger. And then as long as you keep doing steps today, in like a year, in 6 months, in a month, it's like already just that much stronger. And I don't know, there's like that expression where like sometimes we underestimate what we can do in a day versus where we can be in a decade or something like that. Like we always feel like we need to be further right away, but then we underestimate how far along and how much we accomplish in the long term. I can't remember who said that or where that's coming from, but oh my gosh, is it Tony Robbins? Am I quoting Tony Robbins? It might be. Maybe you love Tony Robbins. Anyways, I just kind of get stuff like that. Like that is like, I feel like where you're at right now. So don't, just remember that. You underestimate where you'll be in a decade, because you're going to be very, very far just by starting today. So trust your faith, dive into the unfolding journey. What is your faith asking of you? Yeah. Oh gosh, I feel like you guys are really stepping into the unknown. Like, I feel like whatever you knew about the world, about society, the norms, you're say you're in town over here and you're like, shit, I realize I don't really want to be in this town anymore. And the only other direction to go is out of the town, and I have no idea what's coming if I go that way. And it's like, yeah, buddy, that's the direction you're going. And I just like, I feel like it's just like, yeah, taking really bold action. And like, when I see what you're going to be working on, I see like you're really going to be following the heart and changing your foundation system. So what you believed was possible or true for you, you're just transforming it. Whew. Not an easy thing to do, but a very courageous and brave thing to do. So if you're like, oh, I'm scared of this, like you already are taking the steps. You are so brave. And I think you've already started the path. It looks like you've you've taken some steps, like more than like a few. You've gone the first kilometer or two, and I think you've already decided there's no way you're going back. So now there's only forward, which is awesome. It's good to focus on what's to come in the present, and not be keeping an eye on what has happened in the past. The collective feels is impacting you, unseen forces in action. How can you relinquish control of the situation that feels blocked? Yeah, so I feel like this is where like worry comes in, and it's kind of like that, I don't know, it feels tied to like the collective sphere of judgment. So you take that as it resonates. But I feel like maybe if you find yourself not taking action around something and getting worried about it, maybe just pause and ask yourself if is this actually your fear of judgment, or is this your fear of what people are going to think, or if it's somebody else's? Is it your mom's fear? Is it your dad's fear? Is it your sister's, your best friends, your old best friends? Is this your roommate's fear? Whose fear is this? Is it actually yours? Or is it like you've been listening to a lot of radio or TV or watching the news or something, and it's actually the collectives? And I feel like just bringing that into your awareness might just be enough to release a lot of it. So that's really cool thought to have, or a really cool thing to have happen. And just kind of to like end this reading, I'm going to ask if there's any like summarizing card that wants to come through just to leave you with. All right, look at that. Prioritize self-love and care. When do you feel most nurtured and cared for? So I feel like that is like a great card to sum it all up. Voicing what you need to yourself and working on that communication with your own self. Definitely big theme around learning to communicate with yourself and honoring it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. You're blossoming. You're really going within, and you're really learning how to know what you need. That's a huge thing. So good job. Good job. Yeah, some people never learn to do that, or never think to do that. So I'm excited for you. You're going to really get to know yourself and kind of experience things on a deeper level because of it. Yeah, deeper. I feel like you don't want surface, you want deep. That's cool. I'm running out of ideas of what to say here, so I think I'm going to leave it here. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will catch you around. If you want to support the channel, just leave a thumbs up or a comment. You can just even leave an emoji, as that will help this specific video get more views, and I appreciate that. Hello, Pile 3s. So we are going to start with just pulling 3 cards for guidance for you, guidance for the planet, and then guidance for the way you can serve. So we're going to use this Oracle card deck, and then we'll be pulling cards from your deck afterwards. So let's just ask, clear the energy here as I've used it for all the piles. Pile 3, what guidance is there for you right now? Just one card. Okay, and then next is one card for guidance for the planet for pile 3. And lastly, the best way for you to serve, pile 3. Best way you can serve. Cool. Okay, so we have, look at that. Okay, we have homes, live in an ecological, creative, and fun space. We have golden stellar internet, communicate in a 5th dimensional way, and new children, be all you can be. So very interesting. I feel like you all do some sort of energy work, some sort of, you know, some sort of alternative esoterical shit, basically. Don't know why I had to say shit, but I did. Yeah, so like live in an ecological, creative, and fun space. This is really talking about being energetically sensitive, being very aware in your environment, and like just needing to make sure for you to stay in your most balanced and blissful state, to be around other people who are in that same energy. So if you're living in sort of a low vibrational place, what does that mean? Just like, you know, if you're living with someone who's like depressed, who is wanting to hate everything about life, then that might not be a great place for you. If you're living with someone who's depressed but is trying to change that energy, then that might be an okay place. But it, you know, there's like some people who are like, I need everyone to be miserable because I am, or I need everyone to be angry because I'm angry, and they need to bring you to their level. This is basically saying, if you feel like that somewhere area in your life, this is time to move away from that, because really the best place for you is when you're in your own happy bubble around your own happy community who feel like dancing and being free and seeing the beauty in life, the magic in life. I think that's really what it is. You want to be around people who believe in the magic of life, coming from a heart-centered energy, which is awesome. So I think this is something that you might have in your life. I don't know, I'm a little confused. Some of you have been thinking about moving, and other ones of you have moved into this energy recently, and this is just like a confirmation that you are in the right place. You're surrounding yourself with the right people, and more are going to keep coming in. And I can't stop looking at these people who are joyously running and prancing around. I love that. This is the energy I want to see you in. And maybe you are in. It's just so awesome. And then there's some pets and stuff, and I feel like the dog's really standing out to me. So this pile might really love dogs and ducks. I don't know, just animals in general maybe, but yeah, just wanted to be around that. That's awesome. I feel like this is quick. This one's a quick one. And then for the planet, guidance for the planet, golden stellar internet, communicate in a fifth dimensional way. Like literally, I feel like I just keep seeing channeling, using your voice, and like, I don't know, maybe some of you are really getting into like light language, channeling energy, channeling beings, channeling of some sort, channeling, and connecting with the other global community of people doing the same work as you. So you might be blessing lands, you might be manifesting in groups, I think is something I see. You might be literally leading people. I don't know. It's interesting because this is not really coming forward as like a problem. This is more like a calling. This kind of feels more like what this card is supposed to mean. So I feel like you are being called to get a part of that community. So for some of you are a part of it, and your role is to step more into leadership, into a guiding position in that community. And for other ones of you, it's about joining it and being a part of it. So you kind of just need to know where you are in your life. But I definitely feel like it feels like, yeah, and like I keep seeing like Zoom groups, internet communities, stellar golden internet. I don't know. I think literally communicating with other individuals all around the world who are doing the same kind of energy work that you're doing. And it feels like healing lands, channeling messages, channeling light language. Yeah, you name it. I feel like you're doing it. The new children, be all you can be. So this is your guidance on how to kind of step more into this. And it's literally about not getting too stuck in your head about the seriousness of it, but just being exactly the gifted you that you are. You using your authentic, natural born into this life gifts. So some of you might like feel like you've always should have been a leader. Sorry, my battery just started flashing at me, so I just quickly had to swap it. But yeah, I feel like this is saying like, this is just like truly what you've always kind of felt called to. It feels like coming at it from a place of excitement and joy and lightheartedness. And you're like, literally, it's your natural gifts that is what requires for you to step more into this. So it's not like, if some of you have been like, maybe I need to take like 5 more courses, and maybe I need to like, I don't know, get all this training. It's like it's just all that requires from you is you to just be you. Your natural gifts, your natural psychic gifts, your natural ability to intuitively read people, like whatever it is, your ability to see things a certain way, I think is also a really big thing here. So it's like you are ready. You just need to embrace more of this innate natural energy of yourself, if that makes sense. Okay, it's really weird to me how quickly your cards are coming through. So this might just be like, you know this. You might already know this. This might be messages you've been getting a lot. Because like all the other piles I was like elaborating a lot, and here I'm like, yum, done, moving on. You know this. You are like very intuitive, I think, and you're very connected to yourself. There might just be some, look at that, cards are even flying out. They're just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting tongue-tied now. I think you worry. I think that's what this is meaning. Okay, and boom. The other thing I was going to point out too is, so I really have to pee, but I was like looking around at my cats and they're all sleeping right behind me right now. And I was like, if I move, and they're all going to get up and they're going to get really rambunctious and it's going to be really hard to film this last pile. I'm just going to hold it, push through this reading, and then deal with it. And then I was like, ooh, I don't normally ever do that. Why am I going to do that now? And I was like, oh, it might be a message for this pile that sometimes they put their needs second to make things, like, you don't address your needs first, and you're just trying to, like, you're like, it's easier in the situation, or it's more accommodating for other people in the situation if I just, like, don't express this need until it's, like, more convenient of a situation. I don't know. It just seemed like a message because it's not something I normally do. I just go pee and then I deal with the consequences. But my need was that I had to pee, so yeah. Anyways, it's just something I was thinking about. So anyway, so we have Louise L. Hay affirmation cards just to help bring in some more clarity about some things. So we have enduring loving relationships brighten my life. From time to time, I ask those I love, how can I love you more? So I actually really like, oh, look at that, there's another cat. So you all do love pets. You love pets. You for sure have pets, or want pets. I think you have them. You might have multiple pets. You might be the people who have like 3 dogs and 6 cats, or like 9 horses and 20 gerbils, 6 birds, and I don't know, 3 rabbits. If you don't have any pets, I'm just surprised. Okay. Anyways, so it's, yeah, I just like that this came through, like, with community. Like, this is just, yeah, I feel like this is just like what you want your home life, your environment, your nearby community to feel like. And yeah, I feel like enduring loving relationships brighten my life. You're just really recognizing that that actually shifts everything for you and shifts your energy. It actually is even in, like, this secondary thing is, like, if you're not feeling like you are in a community that really gets you, that might even be why there's such an important need for you to get online and connect with these other people, so you can find that community and embrace more of that energy you're wanting to be in. Yeah, and I just feel like you've got pets that love you so much. You're definitely very compassionate people and very loving people. I feel like your pets even think that. So anyways, filling my mind with pleasant thoughts is the quickest road to health. And my happy thoughts help create my healthy body. Very interesting. Filling my mind with pleasant thoughts is the quickest road to health. Yeah. Interesting. I just feel like stress sometimes has created disharmony maybe in some of your guys' life. So like maybe stressing about other people's needs, maybe even like not peeing because it wasn't convenient for the group if you paused and peed during a meeting or something. I don't know. I feel like this is really saying like putting your health first and your needs first, and understanding that you're around people who aren't going to think that your needs shouldn't be met. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's a really interesting card. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you got to put yourself first more. Especially with this energy over here. I feel like you guys are just natural givers and caretakers and nurturers, and sometimes need more of that energy directed towards yourselves. I think you're getting better at it. It seems like a bit of a life journey to just not be so compassionate towards others before yourself. So here it says, I choose healthy stimulation. During breaks at work, I speak positively with others and listen with compassion. I handle authority with ease and I'm always respected in return. Yeah, you are definitely meant to step into a leadership role, my friends. Definitely. I think you know it. I think you get a little nervous. That makes me think there's like a card, an oracle card deck that says when you get nervous, focus on service. I think that would be a great affirmation for you. Like when you're getting nervous, take yourself out of it and just remember that you're just there to serve people in a certain way. Like what are you good at? That's all you're supposed to do is channel that message in. And when you all know this, when you're channeling, it's really, you don't have to do anything other than channel. You don't have to come up with the answers. You don't have to come up with a solution. You're just channeling, and just take some of that pressure off yourself, because you've got this. You're good at this. This is your natural gift. You're naturally gifted at that. There's no doubt here. It's very clear. Very naturally gifted and connected. Yeah, and you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to connect. I keep saying that. Maybe you just need to keep hearing it. Anyways, we're going to move on to your card deck that you chose. And this is just going to be guidance and advice to... I kind of want to leave this one out. I really like this card for you. So I'll keep it. I feel like you also might just need to clear your energy right now. You know, do a little chakra balancing. If you're feeling a little disordered or a little too nervous, just maybe work on that throat chakra. It's pretty highlighted. It's even a blue person. Anyways, so guidance and advice for pile 3 right now. All in their highest good and light, of course. Look at that victory! One, okay. And okay, I love it when cards just revalidate some of the things I was saying. So, put you in the center. Boom, boom. Okay, keep doing the boom thing. I don't know. It's been indoctrinated into my brain by something somewhere. It's a thing. Okay, and I want to do that. That's what I want to do for some reason for you. And you get all the cards in. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you guys are worried. Got a little yellow. Yellow is kind of like worrying, anxiety, overthinking sometimes. I think that's the energy you can be in. Angel therapy, give your cares and worries to us angels, allow us to take your burden. So angel therapy is actually pretty much the same thing as Reiki. It's like shifting and reattuning and adjusting your chakra systems and balancing your energy so that you're more aligned and grounded and balanced. Definitely feel like if you have friends that do chakra work, maybe just, you know, go see your friend. If you can do it on yourself. Yeah, I would just strongly suggest that. I think it might be better if someone else does it for you. This is talking about receiving, letting yourself receive some help and support. So it might be that you have a friend who's offered to you, but you just feel bad saying yes. I would just take them up on that. I think they really would love to help you out. And I feel like you could use some receiving. Clairaudience, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. This is interesting. Yeah. Okay, so actually what I'm getting from this is like, if people are telling you like you're ready for this role, you're ready to do it, your voice is so powerful, you have a beautiful voice, you have a lot of knowledge or wisdom that people would like to hear, or they really appreciate hearing your perspective. If you're getting compliments from people, I think it's pointing out that you might have a little bit of a block in hearing them. Like you might be like, oh, that's nice, but they really mean them. And I almost feel like it's like, hear them out. They're not just saying this to inflate your ego. They know you aren't like that. They're saying it because they really do mean it, and they really want you to see this in yourself. And it's so interesting, this is so tied to the crown. Yeah. I don't know, there's a bit of block here somewhere where it's like, it says prioritize the things that you're wanting, and then this like clairaudience. So I feel like maybe even like you've been getting some guidance from yourself or from your guides or your higher self, whoever you work with, about taking some action towards something. And I feel like there's been a little bit of a block there. I don't know why. I think it could be this energy thing where you're just feeling a little worried. There's a little bit of a pattern of like wondering if you're worthy of it, if you're gonna be ready for it. I think that might be blocking some of your intuition right now. And I feel like you are very intuitive people, so I feel like you're still getting it for other people, but it's just like intuitive nudges towards yourself. You might be having a hard time hearing. So it's just, I feel like it says focus on your highest priorities. It will help you get organized and motivated. It's like, just, yeah, I feel like you need to take a breather. You need to get a little bit balanced. You need to get a little bit grounded. So the other advice here is also outdoors. Peace. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. Beloved one, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Yeah. I think you guys just need to take a breather too. as I'm reading this, I'm scatterbrained, I'm getting all over the place, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm thinking you all just need to take some breaths, calm down, get rerooted in yourself, and everything's gonna be clear. And I know you know this because your energy tells me that you know that you feel clarity when you do some energy work and get some groundedness. And it even says victory, like your prayers have been heard and answered. Trust that this is all real and this is all happening and you are the right one for the job. That's what I want to keep saying. You are the right one for the job. This opportunity, this whatever role you're trying to step into was meant for you. It was meant for you. That's why it was offered to you. And other people could do it differently than you, but you are the one who is taking this opportunity. You are the one who, I don't know. It's just, it was meant for you. Don't question that. You got what you wanted. You're getting the victory. Don't self-sabotage now. See it through. That's what I want to say. Don't self-sabotage. See it through. You deserve this opportunity. And just trust your intuition. And if you, I keep wanting to say that if you're feeling like you're like, maybe you have like this first leadership thing coming up, or this, I don't know, something's coming up and you're like, am I ready? I feel like I'm just getting like, trust, get grounded. Maybe you need to go outside, smell some flowers, work with flower essences, get grounded, get rooted, get connected. And then you'll remember to focus on service. Whenever you get nervous, and that it's not about you needing to know the answers. You are just the channel for the information. You're gonna be okay. You are so connected and you're so backed and supported. Yeah, you're so backed and supported. You got all these different angels coming through. Like all of them are different. You have so many angels working with you. And look at that. Shamu actually came up twice. He's the only one who came up twice. And he's like, brings in the right people in the right places at the right time. He's all about divine connections, aligned connections. So I really like that. I even feel like there's some messages going out to people on a higher level, or whatever you want to call that. They're hearing you. People who need to find you are going to find you. And indigo and crystal children. So this is just saying you are a sensitive being. You were born gifted. You were born to be a little bit of rebel, like a game changer, to do things that are uncomfortable, to do things that aren't always easy. Some people might not understand you, and that's okay. I don't think you're going to find that, like, the people who need to hear you are going to hear you. And there's always going to be people out there who might not agree with you, but you're not working with those people. Those are just people that exist in the world. They're not necessarily going to interact with you or find you because they're not really aligned with you. No need to worry about that. And I even think that's why I see this one where it says, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Like, I feel like it's saying, like, you are just going to find the people that are meant for you. And I also do feel like if you have worries about some of your relationships, it's like saying, don't worry, I've got you. You're okay. Everything's okay. And this is also talking about communication. So maybe you're having some worries about communicating once again. I do feel like these cards are just the colors, the blue and the yellow. There's worry about how you're communicating or being perceived. So it's like, don't worry about it. It's all happening as it should, as it's meant to, in the best way for you. If you get nervous, focus on service. I feel like I can say that a lot to this pile. And I really like this line of peace comes from remembering that only love is real. That's the reality you choose to live in. There is fear and chaos and all that if you choose to live in that, but you are at a place where you understand that you can choose to live in love. Live and learn in love. That's an interesting thing I wanted to say. Yeah. Definitely need to get some receiving though. I feel like you just have a lot of fear coming up. Breathing, my friends. In through the nose, full breath, fill that diaphragm up, exhale at the mouth, and just really remembering who you are, that you deserve this opportunity, that you're exactly where you're meant to be. You are backed by many, many guides and many, many angelic beings, and everything is in the right place at the right time for you right now. And just open up your heart for some supportive energy from some friends. I just want to pull one more card here just to really sum up anything else that you might need to hear right now, pile 3. Take back your power. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. I love this because I just feel like this is so the energy you're at right now, where you're like, I realize where I put my focus, where tension goes, energy flows. I feel like you just really embody that, and just remembering that you've like maybe shifted a little bit by accident because there's like this new thing coming in and maybe there's some fears. Just bring that into your awareness helps you like redirect it back into the place of abundance and positive manifestation that you're wanting. So I love that. You're just such an enlightened little person here, pile 3. You know, you've got this. Like, you're gonna do great. I didn't even say little person. I feel like you're a very powerful person, you know? I feel like sometimes I just say little because it feels endearing, but I can see how it might not be endearing to everyone, so sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, I feel like one more card. Okay. Remember who you are. There we go. There's another great card. Archangel Michael says, you are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. You're ready to take action. Look at that. You got sword in hand, flame ready to go. You've got your vision. You're set. Yeah, you're ready. You're ready. Look at that. Divine order on the bottom. Everything's in balance. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past illusions and see underlining order. You're good. You're good. Okay. Whew. I think I'm going to let this pile go here. I might just keep repeating the same messages again and again to you. But yeah, I just wish you the best. You're going to do great. I know it already. You just, yeah, take some deep breaths, get grounded. Let yourself receive some help, some love and support from the people around you, and you're going to be good. You've got this. I'll catch you around. Maybe I'll see you around.